number 2. As they've got it, looking at a 4th down and 2. They're running. Ingram. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Where they were on the field, kind of no man's land. Do you like the call?
I love the call. Almost had to go for it there, right? Because of what you just described. Too far for the field goal. Too short for the punt. You might punt in the end zone and just give them good field position anyway. Let's go for it. Plus, they were moving the ball. They had confidence that they could pick up this last bit of real estate.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The 2nd down and 10 there, knocked down as it leaves the cornerback's hand, and it's incomplete. So Dalton now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Benjamin's got it. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he's going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the 2nd quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Murray. Now the pressure pressure, gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now Murray. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Got an open man. It's Olave.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 31-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Yeah, that's a pretty throw right there. It's man coverage on the left side of the field, and this is some really good footwork by his receiver. Able to create some space at the top of his route, and the ball's delivered right on time.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Dalton's throw complete there to Johnson.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Kamara up the middle. Showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, my, you know that's one they wanted to have back. I mean, they did everything right. Got the linebackers commit on the play action. He just flat out missed.
Play action here with Dalton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this one and see how they do it for the first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And then lastly, Monday Night Football. It's a classic Super Bowl rematch from 36 years ago. The Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to